Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. I've been asked by so many people for so long when I'm going to start making YouTube videos. So here we are. I have all the time in the world now because I'm stuck at home due to COVID-19. Today I thought we would just do a little get ready with me, and I'm going to talk about myself and like what got me into makeup and go through some of my favorite products. Ignore my hair today. A couple days ago I fell asleep with some purple shampoo in. So it kind of, I don't know what it's doing, but whatever. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video and let's get to it. Okay, I think I'm just going to jump right on in and do my eyebrows first. Normally I do my foundation first unless I want my eyebrows to look really clean, which is what I kind of want to do for you guys today. I'm using the Fenty Brow MVP in light brown today. I really love the brush that's on the end of this. It's like a nice little, it looks kind of like a hairbrush, and it makes my brows look so fluffy, which I really like that added volume in there. And then I also use the Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Brow Gel in the shade Dutch. So when I was getting ready for this video and decided what I wanted to do, I asked people on Snapchat what they kind of wanted to know about me, and the number one question was what got me into makeup. And what got me into makeup was actually I moved back home from Minnesota, and I started hanging out with my friend Krista again. Hi, Krista. And we both turned 21 around the same time. So like we started like going out and like hanging out together all the time, going to parties. And I like only really wore like some eyeshadow and like mascara when all this happened. And we were hanging out with like all these girls that worked at makeup counters. Krista worked at Bare Minerals at the time. So I was like, I really want to look pretty too. So she really like taught me all the basics and helped me figure out like what exactly to do with my face. She actually like matched me to my first foundation ever. Before that I didn't really like even wear foundation. What I had was like some drugstore stuff that I like probably mixed with lotion because it was too dark for me. Okay, so I just went ahead and I finished up my eyebrows off camera. Kind of doing them on camera was difficult. Trying to like focus on that. But so I finished that up. I usually do my eyebrows and then conceal them, and then I'll put on my brow gel. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. And I like to just like brush them up just to give them a little bit more volume so they're not so blocky and they look like there's some hairs in them. It's kind of hard to tell on camera. They look really dark. And that concealer looks really light on here too, but it's okay. It'll look good once we finish all of this. Alright. So then I'm going to go in and do my foundation. Well, I'm going to do primer first. This primer is my favorite. It is the Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. I got this in my gratis at Sephora, and I honestly like wasn't interested in really trying it. It's cool, it's got vitamin C in it, but it just wasn't like, I don't know, I like a sticky primer. I always liked a sticky primer. This one was more smoothing, and finally one day I was like, okay, I have this, I'll try it. And I just like, my foundation looks so good after it. I only like have to use a pump, which is really great. And it has like a little glow under it too. If you like a luminous finish, it kind of gives that underneath. And then my favorite foundation right now is actually the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundation in the shade 200W. It's really lightweight. I like a foundation where I can use like about 2 pumps for my whole face. I have to go wet my beauty blender. Okay, so I have a damp beauty blender here. I'm a very big like beauty sponge person. I've tried brushes before, but I just didn't like how it looked. Like I always take my beauty blender and blend it out again anyway. So I do that. If you make it wet, it doesn't soak up as much product in it, and it'll give you a more flawless, seamless finish. I'm gonna put this on my face. The pump on it broke. I don't know if that's a manufacturing issue or I probably was the one that broke it, honestly. But, so it looks like I'm doing a lot of pumps, but I'm not. There we go. And what I usually do is I put it on the back of my hand and I'll like dot it all over my face. Like this. And this foundation, I don't know, I haven't found something that matches my face like this in a long time. So I'm just really happy about it. Put a little right here. I probably put a little too much on. I'm just gonna put it in my beauty blender and just going like this. Now I personally really like a Luminous foundation compared to like some other people. I used to like just like matte, just like plain matte foundation, but then I was like, why is it my face always looks so textured when I did it too? So I was like, what the heck is going on? Well, then I found out that I have like super dry skin. But I was a bartender and a server at Applebee's, and I wore this foundation all the time. And I also like don't use a lot of powder anyway, but this would stay on all day. It looked flawless too. So I don't know, I just really like this one. I don't have oily skin like at all. Like I said, I was dry, so that probably has a little bit to do with it too. But here we go. I think that's all blended out. Then blend it on my neck. You just gotta like keep beating your face until everything looks good. And I can't believe I'm gonna do this on camera, but the best way to tell if everything's blended in is to do a double chin. That's what I do for me. I like look in the mirror and I'll go like this, and I'll just like blend in everything and make sure that it's all nice. So when you do this, no color difference. That means it's pretty much blended. There we go. So next, I'm going to take that concealer that I used to carve out my eyebrows. And I really like this for underneath my eyes. I used to use the Tarte Shape Tape, but one of my old coworkers, Megan, I love her so much. I miss her. I haven't seen her in so long. But she told me that I should try this. It was like her ride or die concealer. And I could never like find a color that was good for me. And then they expanded their shade range. Yay, we love that. So I found this shade. And it's just like bright enough for me where it's like, it doesn't look so white. But when I blend it out and everything, it just looks good. But it's a hydrating concealer. And since, like I said, it got dry skin, I love anything that's extra hydrating. So I really stay away from mattifying products. So what I'm going to do is I sweep it underneath my eye like this. And then I go down to my nose. And I just kind of do this to highlight like that. I don't use my concealer really to like cover up anything. Just because I don't know. I'm lucky I was blessed with like nice skin. I've never been like acne prone or anything like that. I have like a birthmark on my forehead, but like you can't even see it. Like medium coverage foundation will cover it up. I also put a little bit on my chin, the leftovers, so that like the high point, so it's another high point on my face so that it adds a little bit more dimension. And then today I'm going to put a little bit on my forehead. Everything's blended in nicely, and I'm gonna just like change up my routine a little bit. I only do this if I use cream blush because I've noticed that using cream blush kind of blends a little bit better if I don't put powder on first. So right now I'm gonna use the Milk Makeup cheek and lipstick in the shade Work. I love this. It's so pretty. When I first discovered it, I like thought it was a weird product. I'd never like played with cream blush before, but then when I put it on, it just looks so natural and like glowy. So I'm gonna like smile and put on the apples of my cheeks just to give me a little bit of color right here. Do it like this, and then I kind of pull it up a little bit right there. I know it looks like a mess, but I'm just gonna do that again. And a little bit more. It like mixes with the foundation a little bit when you do it. So there we go. And then I take my beauty blender, just the bottom of it. I don't know why I use the bottom of a beauty blender. I always have. go. See, look how nice that looks. Nice and pretty. Okay. Now that I have my blush done, we are gonna bake. And not bake cookies. I know that's what you were thinking about, because that's all I want right now. Okay, so the powder I use is the Fenty Pro Filter Setting Powder in the shade Lavender. I like the brightening effect that it has rather than just like the normal one, but you can use whatever powder you're comfortable with for baking. This is just what I use. And then I take like a fluffy brush like this. I got this in my Ipsy bag like years ago, but it's just really nice for your under eye. So I don't have a lot of powder on this brush. I do this with the powder and I just kind of work it into the concealer, and then especially like around my nose and under my eye. And then I'm gonna put a little bit on the top of, on my lid too, just to set that, so that we have a base for my oh my gosh, my eyeshadow. I can't think of the word. Okay, so I got that all blended. There we go. I'm gonna do my other eye. After I do that, I like to bake on the top of that, just so that the powder is something like to sit on. There we go. And I literally just like pack it on there. And it gets kind of messy. If you ever like look at my Instagram, you'll see powder all over my shirts, because I forget to like clean that up before anything, before I like take a picture. And it's because I was baking and got powder everywhere. I like this powder too because it smells like cake. There we go. And I get all right there. I get especially around my nose because, like I said earlier, it creases really bad. And especially under my eye. And so then when you bake, it's kind of cool. I'm gonna bake my chin a little bit too. When you bake, it's cool because what you're doing is you're putting so much powder on your face that the heat can't escape from out of your body, because you know our bodies are 98.6 degrees, so it's like trapping all the heat that's in my face, like underneath my eye where I put that concealer. So it's gonna like really set the concealer. It's literally baking it so that it stays on all day. And you're supposed to do it between like 5 to 10 minutes. I very rarely ever get to the 10 point. I usually bake around 5 minutes. I usually think that that's like good enough sometimes. Okay, so I am finished baking. I'm just trying to get all the powder out of this brush. It's a lot of powder. You can't see it on camera, but it's like a cloud everywhere. So what I do is I just sweep that off like that. And this really helps like smoothing out your skin too. I really like it. Here we go. And then I always take a damp beauty blender again. I use my beauty blender for like everything. It's so versatile. But so like when you have a lot of powder on your face like this, if you take a damp beauty blender and you kind of push the powder back into your face too to like really set it, but it's also picking up all that excess powder that can like make you look cakey. So I do that, and then it just like looks a little bit more blended. There we go. And then my foundation and my concealer is all done, and we're ready to do eyeshadow, which is my favorite. So for this video, I decided that I was gonna like use all the products that are like my favorite, my go-tos, so that I was more comfortable with it, because I'm kind of nervous right now. So I got the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. I know Huda's a little controversial, but her eyeshadows are just so nice. I don't really buy a lot of her other products, but like I'll splurge on a Huda eyeshadow palette. I highly recommend them. So while I'm like doing this, I'm gonna kind of talk about why I fell in love with makeup. We know that I like got into makeup because I was hanging out with some, you know, friends who were all worked at like makeup counters and stuff, but I really fell in love with makeup because of eyeshadow. Like eyeshadow can literally like transform your look and make it whatever you want. Like I kind of do the same thing with my cheeks and my eyebrows all the time. I can always change up my like eyeshadow and my lips really easily. So that's really what like made me fall in love with makeup. It's just such an artistic outlet. Like there's endless possibilities of what you really can do. You can always challenge yourself with it. I've been trying to challenge myself like last week because I have all the time in the world, you know, since we're quarantined. But I don't know, it's been really, makeup's really been a process and like me loving myself. Because I do have anxiety, I do have depression. It also like got me through one of the worst semesters of my life with school too. But, and actually like how it got me through one of the worst semesters of school was, okay, so I went to school in Minnesota to be a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher my entire life. I went to school for about 5-ish years total. For my teaching degree, I had like a year left of school and a semester of student teaching left. And I decided to move back home. But when I was in school for that semester, for the last year when I went up to Minnesota, I got approached by the theater program and they wanted me to do makeup because they saw me walking around on campus and I had a full face on randomly. So they were like, hey, you'd be really good for this, like, if you want to get involved, we're looking for people. And I was kind of skeptical. I'd never, like, done makeup on people before. I only did it on myself, so I was kind of like, you want me? Like, I don't know how good I am. And people were like, no, I think you'll be really good on this. Like, just try it. So I don't know, I wrote my name on a sheet, got involved. My first production I was a part of was, Camelot the musical. I absolutely loved it. And then for the next semester I was actually asked to be the head of makeup for the spring play, which was The Crucible, and there's a lot of old people in that play, so I like made an 18-year-old look like he was 80. It was so cool, but I threw myself into that, and that's really what made me realize there was more than just like teaching out there for me. And I just love doing it more on other people besides myself. I decided to go back home, went back to my job. I worked as a barista at this place for this place called Crane Coffee for forever. I think I was there for almost 4 years. And then my best friend's sister got married in Italy. And while we were over there, like, I packed, like, a few makeup items. I didn't do my makeup a whole lot there because I was there for 3 weeks. Like, there was so much that we had planned, so I really didn't wake up early to do my makeup because I wasn't, like, seeing anybody, you know. But we went to Italy for this wedding, and they got their makeup done by some makeup artists over there who are, like, professionals. And I wish we had this picture that I could show you of what my best friend looked like, because their makeup style there was just a little different than like what we do over here. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But I like used what they had brought, and then what I had like at the wedding venue, and like fixed everybody's makeup. And that was really when I was like, oh, okay, like I have the potential of like doing wedding makeup. But I had like no formal training. I just liked it as a hobby, you know? And I get a little bit of fallout off. So I came back home, and then my friend Krista again, she was working in Yonkers at the Lancome counter for a while, and then one day I was like walking around JCPenney and she was in Sephora, and I was like, hey, what's up? And she, after Yonkers like closed, she's like, I got a job here. And I was like, you know, I don't want to work at the coffee shop anymore. I'd been there for so long. I was just kind of bored of it, but don't get me wrong, I loved that job. But I just like wanted something else, and she was like, well, we're gonna be looking for seasonal people. So I was like, really? You are? And she was like, I think you should apply. I think you'd be really good at it. So I got hired on at Sephora as a seasonal associate. And then after the season was over, I was asked to transfer to another Sephora where they needed some girls, and I did that, and I worked at both the coffee shop and Sephora for like, how long was it that I worked at both places? I worked there from November to April at both places. It was insane. I would open at the coffee shop 5 days, or I think it was like 4 days a week. One day I gotta go in at 7 a.m. instead of 5. Ooh. But I'd like leave at 10. I'd go work at Sephora from 1 to 9, 5 days a week. And I think I like my only days off were Sundays. But I really liked it. Um, Working at Sephora really like expanded my knowledge of makeup, my knowledge of skincare, like all of that fun stuff. So I just like really fell in love with it. I got to do people's makeup all the time, like show them how to do eyeshadow and eyeliner, find foundation matches, which like it's hard to kind of find a match for people. They have like a little cool a cool system called a color IQ that like takes pictures of your skin, but still like it takes some skill to like color match. So I got to build that up, which is fun. I love doing it. But then I got the job at Applebee's, and I did my makeup there all the time too, but I was just making more money there, so I decided I just wanted to focus on one job, and I quit Sephora, which sometimes I regret it. I miss it. It was a fun job. I worked with so many good people. I have so many good friends from there now. Like the management there was all amazing. They're beautiful people. I'm still in contact with a lot of them. So that's really what made me like fall in love with makeup. Just like getting involved with it, seeing how it like transformed people's lives. Like, you know, when you save a wedding from like horrible makeup, or you know, you're working and you help somebody find their new favorite product. Like, it just, the way that it made people like smile just made me so happy. I love helping people. It's one of my favorite things in the entire world to do. So being able to do that in a job and make people feel beautiful was just fun. So I'm done with most of my eyeshadow. I just did like a little bit of pink to do a little natural look. I'm going to go in with the shimmer on my lid because I love glitter. My favorite thing to do with glitters now, I used to like spray a ton of setting spray on a brush and like pack it on, but now I just like wash my hands and use my finger directly on the lid. So I'm going to do that real quick. I used to have like really long acrylic nails on, and it's always so hard to be able to do that with them. So I'm kind of glad I don't have them. The only reason I don't right now is because I can't go get my nails done because everything's closed right now. Thanks, COVID. I'm going to pop a little bit of shimmer in the inner corner of my eye. It really helps open up your eye. I like how it looks. If you don't do it, I highly recommend trying it out. It doesn't even have to be like a lot, but it just like adds a little pop. So then after my eyeshadow, I generally move to my cheek makeup. I know I already had my blush done, but I'm actually going to go in with another blush just to layer it a little bit. This is a Tarte blush. Their 12-hour Amazonian clay blushes are really nice. But this is like the shade Party. They had it in like 2017 as their birthday gift. But I'm just going to swirl that brush. I use an angled brush for my blush, but I am just going to put that a little bit on the apples of my cheeks just to give me a little bit more color. They're really similar colors. I'm going to blend that out a little bit, a little much. There we go. And then I'm going to go in with bronzer. I used to hate blush, hate brown. I used to hate everything about makeup, honestly, and it took me a while. Like each product I found that was like really nice made me appreciate it. But once I finally like kind of figured out what to do with my bronzer too, that really changed everything. To one of my Sephora coworkers, Kaylee, thank you for showing me how to bake my bronzer and put it on better. I usually use like a little tapered dome brush like that. The handle broke off. I think this was a BH Cosmetics brush, but I just still really like this brush for bronzing. I don't know what it was originally for, but what I'm gonna do is I kind of go with my natural contour, just kind of go in like that. I go with my forehead, and then bronzer just like adds more dimension to your face. Like, you know, I looked a little washed out. I'm not gonna look washed out after this anymore. I like to blend it up into my hair line so that there's no harsh lines. We don't like harsh lines, people. Here we go. Ooh, that was a lot. But that's the beauty of blending, people. I did not go in with the face brush just to kind of blend it out a little bit more. There we go. And then I like to contour my nose. You don't have to if you don't want to. Just like with most makeup. If you don't like it, you don't gotta do it. But I just like to define my nose a little bit more. I think sometimes there's just so much like one color in the middle of my face. So I think that adds a little bit. So I'm gonna do that real quick. You can use this trick to like help straighten out your nose. Or I have like a little bump I like to hide with it. You can make your nose a little skinnier. I don't necessarily do that. Like I do a little bit, but I don't necessarily do that a lot. Okay. Now we're gonna bake. And then baking is just gonna help me accentuate my cheekbones a little bit more. I have a really round face, which there's nothing wrong with. I'm fine with my round face, but I just like to accentuate my cheekbones a little bit. There we go. And now we're baking that. And I'm gonna let that bake for a little bit and we'll be right back. So I am back. I'm gonna use a face brush right now. I'm just gonna dust away all that baking again. And like, see how crisp that line is? That's one thing I like. I don't like it. I don't like harsh lines at all. So I'm gonna go back in with my beauty blender. Remember how I said that it would take away the excess powder? So I'm gonna do that real quick and push that into my face. And I like to kind of blend it out around my cheeks a little bit so that it looks a little bit more seamless. Then right here is where I kind of want it to be a little bit more noticeable. But one thing I always do after I do that, I don't know why I do this or when I started, but I have this little red brush. Whoops. I have this little red brush that I got from Sephora the first year I hit Rouge. And I use that with this really, really cool tone bronzer. Like, it's like a gray. It's called Second Chance. I got it from the Sephora Collection. And I just, like, pop it in my natural, like, contour in my face. Just to, like, kind of blend it out a little bit. Then my bronzing is done and my baking is done. We look good. Highlight. We're gonna highlight today, people. So when I highlight, I have two brushes that I like to use. Today I am going to be using the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics Loose Powder Highlight in the shade Extra. I know Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics is very controversial, but I love her. I know she didn't handle the lipstick thing well. I have the lipsticks. I'm actually going to use one today. I love them. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. So when she came out with highlight, I was like, yes. Yes. She loves highlight. I love highlight. It was just going to be good. And I don't have a loose powder. So I was like, I'll try it. So I'm just going to, okay. So I just dust that on the high points of my cheeks. And like, this stuff is blinding, guys. Let me tell you. Like, I like to be seen from space when I put highlight on. I'm not even gonna lie. I probably put too much on, and I'm just glowing. I put it on my Cupid's bow. I put it on my chin. I like a luminous look, guys. Sue me. And then I put a little bit, like, right here. Because then it'll, like, show up a little bit on your cheeks in pictures. See the difference? Just a little glowy, or a lot, but I am going to take, I usually do take a little bit of my beauty blender again, and just kind of like blend it in, because I did use a lot. I love highlight. Look at it. Ooh-hoo. Okay, so now since I got all my face stuff done, I'm going to do my mascara, and I'm going to pop on some lashes. Okay, I know I'm really close to the camera right now, but I just added on my lashes. They're really cute. I wanted you to kind of see them up close. They're They're by this company called Her Lashes. One of my friends from Sephora showed me them, and they're like $5 lashes. They come from California. They're always amazing quality. I love them. I haven't bought like other lashes since. These are in Trouble. They're one of my faves. So yeah, I did that. I popped some highlight underneath my brow bone. If you can't tell, it's a little shiny. And then I also, I didn't put on much eyeliner. I'm not a huge eyeliner person anymore when I discovered lashes, especially for like kind of a natural look. But right now I've been using the Kat Von D Dagger. I got it in my BoxyCharm, but if you look at the tip, it's kind of like an angled, and it's really thin, so I can get in my inner corner just to kind of connect my lashes to my inner corner, so that it looks a little bit more seamless rather than just like I glued something over here. So then that'll make it look a little bit more natural. And then for my finishing touch, I'm gonna use the Jaclyn Hill lipstick. I don't care what anybody says about them. Mine didn't have any hairs. Mine weren't moldy. They don't have little bumps in them. I was so confused about everything that was going on when that happened. But when that was going on, so I don't know, but I got a refund. I got like 6 of them, so and I don't know, this color is so pretty. I think it flatters my skin tone a lot. I really like it. So now that I have my lipstick on, I think I have everything done except for the last thing I gotta do, which is setting spray. Setting spray is super important. It really does help your foundation and everything stay in place all day long. Right now I'm using the Iconic London. It's got like a little, it kind of reminds me of that, like that vodka with the glitter in it, but shake that up a little bit. Roll over. And then I always take like a mirror or a eyeshadow palette, and I'll dry that. So we're going to do that real quick. And there you have it. This is my finished look. I hope you have liked getting ready with me. I'm off to go do nothing because, well, we're stuck at home because of this virus. But if you liked my video, subscribe and like down below. I'm going to put a whole list of everything that I used today in the like the little section below too, so you can go look at that. If you have any ideas for me, I'm open to suggestions. Just leave a little comment below, message me on Instagram, whatever works for you. And thanks for everything today. Stay safe, wash your hands, and stay home.